So we have a quorum, I guess, and we've got the mayor waiting, so we don't have to do that, so.
Pretty odd.
Guess we can go ahead and call the meeting to order. Commissioner Harden, do you want to handle our roll call?
Sure. Let's see, what did I do? Vice Chairperson Jim Sawtelle.
Here.
Commissioners Joanne Eaton.
Here.
Phyllis Harden here. Mark Laces. Jerry Melia.
Here.
Bob Momartz.
Here.
Tom Ricker. Planner Fred Fox. Associate Planner Lisa Ritchie.
Here.
Attorney Liz Cross. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Agenda, has everybody received a copy of the agenda?
Yes, I do.
Any additions to the agenda that anybody wants to make? If not, I guess we'd entertain a motion to approve it.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
Commissioner Melia?
I second it.
Commissioner Momartz, all those in favor so signify by raising your hand. Motion's carried. Next item is public comment on the consent agenda or non-agenda items. Anybody from the public want to comment? Hearing none, I think we can take that as a no. So, well, next item is probably the most important reason for our being here tonight, and that is we wanted to recognize our former chair and good friend and colleague, Clint Folsom, and I guess totally off the cuff, just to offer a couple personal observations. Clint, you really, you gave your all for the town during your time on the Planning Commission. You certainly were an inspiration to me, watching how you would familiarize yourself with the matters that came before the commission, and completely selfless. Didn't exactly get paid handsomely for your efforts, but hopefully the gratitude of a grateful community and a grateful board means something. So I think I need to walk around and hand this to you. So thanks for coming in tonight, Clint. I know you're awfully busy with your family, and thank you so much for all your good work, my friend.
Thank you. That's wonderful.
You bet. You really appreciate it all.
Let's get a photo with everybody.
All right. You would have to do that, wouldn't you?
You want me to come up?
Maybe we should
Come
go
up.
to- let's go to Joanne's.
That's easier.
Yeah, we'll just stand.
We're very accommodating. I can see that.
Congratulations.
Thank you for your accommodation.
That will work. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3. We'll do another couple. 1, 2, 3. And one more just in case. 1, 2, 3. Great.
Thank you.
We should.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We
Great.
have a dinner in a week.
We do?
We sit
Yes.
together and
Yeah, yeah.
discussing
Get
how
caught
we're going
up.
to get things done.
Yes. Yeah.
Excellent.
Sounds good.
It is.
Okay. I don't imagine you want to stick around.
Well, I'll make a few remarks.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much for this plaque. This really means a lot that the Planning Commission and the town would do that to recognize me. I really appreciate it. And, it all began here at the Planning Commission. I joined in 2008. I really didn't know what I was getting myself into. I knew a few things about real estate, and I thought, well, I'll give back to the town and get involved in the Planning Commission. Really had no idea where it would lead, and certainly didn't intend to run for public office, or so I thought. And so I really credit the experience that I got on the Planning Commission, working with all of you and the commissioners before and the town staff, and it really has really allowed me to do what I'm doing. And I want to say a special thanks to Joanne Eaton for recognizing me and putting me out there to be chairperson. I mean, had I not been chairperson, I think it's pretty safe to say that I would not have run for mayor. I mean, I might have run for the board, but I don't think I would have had the qualifications to do that. So thank you.
Well, we're very proud of you.
I really appreciate that. And, thank thank you all for your friendship and camaraderie, and it's been great working with you, and look forward to continue
Likewise.
working with you now as mayor, and I think the planning commission is going to do great things as we move forward through town center, so.
Yeah, thanks so much, Clint. We really appreciate all that you've done for all of us, that's for sure.
Okay. Well, good luck with the rest of your heavy agenda. We'll see you next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Good night.
Good guy.
Yeah, the best. Good night. Well, and I echo Clint's comments about Commissioner Eden.
Much appreciated. Try my best.
Okay, well, the next item is appointment of a chairperson and vice chairperson, and I guess maybe before we do anything on that, we should probably ask one another, do we want to move forward tonight? I know we took it up last time, 2 weeks ago, and Commissioner Momarts wasn't able to join us, so we decided to kick it back a couple of weeks. Now, Commissioner Lasis had a work matter come up at the last minute.
And my surgery has been postponed.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
I don't know when, but I know it will be soon. So we can wait. I mean, I'll probably be at the next meeting, so.
Okay. Well,
I inquire, Phyllis, when is our next meeting?
At this point, we do not have anticipated a meeting on February 3rd. So staff is now working with the town attorney on the Chapter 16 updates, so we've made some progress. At the soonest, I think realistically, that could come forth is February 17th. However, again, I'm happy to, if you want to try and do February 3rd, it's not an inconvenience for me to hold a meeting, so that would be up to you.
I was wondering maybe if we could circulate sort of like an attendance, anticipated attendance for hypothetically the 3rd or any other date.
Absolutely.
Try to coordinate as many, people in the same place at the same time as we can.
Yeah, I mean, we did that, 2 weeks ago when we had verbal commitments from everyone. I think that we can do that the day, I can do that the week before, and I could do it again maybe the day of. Once we notice a meeting, which happens that Friday before, it's nice to get a, kind of a firm idea. Ultimately, it's up to you. I mean, we can see how February 3rd looks.
And does it matter how long we put this off? We have a temporary chairman, which we're.
I mean, technically, there's no code requirements on how this gets done or what the process is. Really, it's up to you. It's how comfortable you are, I guess, as a group putting this off and waiting, or if you feel like you have enough representation here tonight to go ahead and, make the decision. There's no hard and fast rule for you, sorry.
Commissioner O'Malley, do you have any preferences, thoughts?
Well, to select the chairman and the vice chairman, even if we have a full staff, we're going to kind of kick it around and debate it, or nominate people that are here, or nominate people that aren't here. Because Commissioner Laxis had a last-minute thing come up, that could happen again. And, if you don't attend the meetings, we're going to nominate you for, king. So.
Oh, no.
Phyllis, do you have any thoughts, one way or the other, on it?
It's really difficult at this time to get people here. We could do this in 2 weeks and have the same thing we have now. I would prefer just
Do it.
at least the chair. Let's do the chair, and then I don't know too much.
Unless somebody
about the
here
vice
is
chair.
interested in the vice chair. I'm not.
No, I'm a nominee for the chair. Yes. Apparently there's a second already.
I guess, my thought is I'd just as soon we try to forge ahead. We're always going to have folks who
Yep.
are missing. That's just kind of the nature of the commission, and we kind of just have to keep plugging away, I think, so.
Well,
Is that
I
okay?
would therefore nominate Jim Sawtell for chair.
Well, thank you, Joanne.
You're welcome.
I'll second that nomination.
Thank
Okay.
you, Bob.
Yep. third.
Phyllis?
No pressure, Phyllis. I
I did it, I forced the nomination.
Well, I don't think we need to have a vote. I'm going to abstain. So, but thank you all. I'm flattered and honored, and I, will work as hard as I can to make sure I fill the very big shoes that
That's true.
I'm stepping into here. So,
Well,
I appreciate your confidence in me. I really do. And
Can I, that was basically a motion. Can we
Yeah.
just have a
a vote. Yeah. So we had a
Vote.
motion. Yeah. Well, I guess I got to abstain.
Okay, so 4 in favor.
I can
One
vote for
abstain.
myself.
Why not?
I guess.
sure you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
Well, I'll go with the majority.
Sounds
See, resistance is futile.
Because now you're being diplomatic. This opportunity. I'm just wondering, we're supposed to have a dinner meeting in what, a week?
Yeah, so
Have
that,
something
we'll
like
chat
that?
about that coming up, yep.
And I was wondering, maybe there'll be more of us at that,
Hmm.
since this is supposed to be like a working dinner with the board, the trustees, I mean. And maybe we can bounce around. Are we allowed to discuss things sort of informally?
You are, as an organization, are you thinking to discuss for vice chair? Is that where you're going with this? Or I don't.
We could discuss that or anything else.
I think that that's potential, so,
So, I mean, if we're in a gathering anyway, we can go into like a little huddle or whatever.
I don't think you
Think
can
it's
do it
legal.
without being at a meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think
No,
you
that
can discuss.
that
I
I
don't know that
understand,
you can
but
take
just the
action.
kind of the discussion part of it, so that when we do get together formally on the next go-round, as it were, we're all sort of in place and our ducks are lined up.
Okay.
But it's just a thought.
Does that impact the election, are you saying, or what's your thought on that?
This election?
Yeah.
No, this is done.
This is done.
This is done.
There's no,
No,
there's
we
no
can't get
recount.
out of it.
We
There's
can't
no
have a
recount.
recount?
This is done.
Okay.
Well, it is done. I mean, we've done it.
Okay.
We're
You
not
only
going
have
back.
recounts when you're not happy with the result.
There's got to be a hanging chad here somewhere. Do we want to wait on the vice chair, or do you guys do you feel comfortable moving forward with the vice chair?
I feel comfortable moving forward.
Moving
as
forward.
well.
Me too.
As do I. And I think the experience that you all hold is the real value, the reason you're all voting for you that way. I'm new to the board, so I'm learning this and trying to understand things as best as possible, so.
Well, we appreciate the contributions you've made already. Well, I would like to nominate one of the senior, or the folks who, this is payback. So, but now you're saying, Joanne, you're out?
Well,
or-
because I don't know how long I'm going to be out,
Okay.
once I'm out. I don't know what I'm doing, and they just stopped. They told me we have to postpone.
Okay. well,
And it's very nice of you to think of me. I appreciate it. I enjoy this, and I work hard at it, so it's true. But truthfully, I think someone who might be able to give it more time, and not that I will participate fully, but I think that might be better off.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Well, and
With that in mind, Phyllis, would you?
I would do it, but as a staff person, I think I
Probably not a
probably
good
not,
That's-
I should
that's what I
not
was
do
thinking.
it.
yeah, well, and plus you have a job already, right? Taking it
Keeping
over.
us on track.
Right.
Which kind of gets me back to where the guy had in mind here.
Oh, okay.
There's a little misdirection going on here.
I get it.
Yeah, we worked our way there.
Okay, yeah.
So
Are you willing to run, sir?
would-
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I move.
And I second it.
Yes.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, so signify by raising your hand.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Chairman?
Okay, we go home now?
All right, just about.
Yeah.
We've got, next item is the consent agenda and approval of the January 6, 2015 minutes. Has everybody seen the minutes? Did anybody have any changes, additions to the minutes?
I have to abstain because
You were gone?
I was gone.
Okay.
Yeah,
Could we have a motion to approve?
so move.
Second?
Second?
Commissioner Elliott. Those in favor signify by raising your hand. Okay, motion's carried. Staff announcements.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the selection of your leadership for the year. I think that's, I think you are all in great hands, and I'm looking forward to working with you this year. Upcoming is a reminder, and I'll send another email out, but on Monday the 26th, this coming Monday, we have the joint dinner with the Planning Commission and the Town Board at 5:30. Some of you were able to attend that last year, and I thought it was a really thoughtful discussion between the board. The board provided a lot of direction and feedback to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission had the opportunity to ask some questions, and I thought for an hour and a half, we actually went through a lot of information, and so I'm really hopeful that all of you will be able to attend. I'll send an email out again. I'd like to know if you aren't going to be able to make it, just so that we can have a head count for dinner and chairs and seating and things like that. So the manager has asked that I inquire if you have specific things that you already know of that you would like to chat with the town board about. At this point, we will put the work plan on that agenda. So you all had approved the work plan back in October, I believe that was. I'll email that out as well when I send this reminder email, just to kind of refresh everyone what we had talked about. But offhand, can you think of any specific direction that you might be looking for from the board, or any specific questions? And we can do this later as well, but if you know of.
My initial reaction is that having an ex-planning commissioner and a chairperson as mayor, that's going to facilitate a relationship that be much more at arm's length, and I think it'll work very smoothly. That's not to criticize what we had before. I don't mean that in any respect. But I think he knows where we're at, having been chair of the planning commission for some time. So I think it should foster a very good relationship.
Yeah, I agree. I think their awareness of planning commission and what you're capable of, I think, is absolutely there.
No, I think you're right, Bob. I think it will be a whole different atmosphere between the two boards. Yeah. And I think that's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think just to follow up on what we were talking about before, Lisa, from my perspective, it would be helpful really just to hear from the trustees about what it is that we can do to be more effective. I think just to kind of simplify our role, I see it as being in part kind of a window into the community for them. And we sort of take the feedback and input that the community wants to provide us in our open hearings and whatnot, and make our recommendations based on that. And if we can do that more effectively somehow, I'm all for it.
Great. All right, well, if you think of specific ideas or something comes to mind, feel free to email me over the next coming days. The packet goes out to the board on Friday, so there's, if you get it to me before then, we could provide that information in the packet. If not, we can just bring it up during that meeting. So
Packet goes out on Thursday.
Thursday. My apologies, sorry.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Are there nominations to this board? Have there not been nominations?
So that's a great question. So you're right. At this point, there's 6 candidates for the 2 vacant PC positions. So we've had a high level of interest. The board has left the positions vacant for a while, and they've got a lot of interest. They've all been interviewed, and it's my understanding that that's still on the agenda. Is that correct? For the 26th, then, that they will be selecting the 2 candidates, or the 2 new appointments, then on the 26th, which unfortunately is after our dinner. So they won't be planning commissioners at the time of the dinner, but we'll be sure to pass that information on to them.
Okay.
So, it's on the agenda.
Yes.
The only other announcement that I have right now is the Chapter 16 updates. We have advanced them a little bit over the last few weeks. They are now being reviewed by the attorney. Town attorney has received a copy of those, and they're starting their review. So the earliest that it looks like we'll get that on the agenda would be February 16th, and that might be a little bit aggressive, but I will keep you all posted. So at this point, don't plan on a meeting on February 3rd. and we'll, I'll send out a reminder email as that date approaches and confirm that, but, and then we'll see about how the 16th is looking.
Is it
Great.
Is that not the right date?
17th.
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 Sorry, thank you.
Okay.
I need to have my calendar open. Yes, 3rd and 17th. 17th. Okay. Am I
Okay.
missing anything else?
I don't think so.
That's all we had.
Is that all? Okay.
We done?
I think we gotta officially close there, Mr. Vice Chairman. Any more business to come before the meeting? Okay, then we're adjourned.
Thank you.
Congratulations, the two of you.
Thank you.